Hi, I'm Michelle Sharon. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So, I wanted to talk today about identifying your strengths. Identifying your strengths. Um, Over the past few years, honestly, since I was in middle school, like back to one of the last videos I talked about, and being introduced to finding your highest self, right? Finding the highest way that you um, show up. I had a situation that really, when I was, in high school, I had a situation that really um, challenged who I was, right? And high school, like, you don't even really know yourself, but I thought I did. And so when I got to college, I really was trying to figure out, like, who I was, right? Who I was, what I was supposed to be doing, if I was pursuing the right thing, if I was trying to have the right career, if I was, like, who was I? Like, what was I made of, right? I've been hearing about God my entire life, and I knew that God had put these different things inside of me, but I didn't really know all the things that God put inside of me. I didn't really understand what that meant, right? I know you had to make money. I knew some people had gifts, right? I saw that, like, I had a sister who sang. I had, like, this person was really smart. This person was really good at this. And I really was trying to understand, like, who was I? What was I supposed to be doing? What was I good at? And so it led me to read a lot of books and take a lot of quizzes. And one thing that I came upon was identifying your strengths. And again, it's a book that I'm gonna link in the description box, so that I really encourage everybody. And honestly, it's even for high schoolers to read this book, high school and up, to read this book, and to take the quiz, because this is something that really, really, when I was so confused and I was so, like, trying to figure out what it is that I was supposed to be doing and what my gifts are and how God made me, right? And why I was supposed to be special. This is something that really helped bring out all of the different answers to that. And so one thing I really like about this book and this quiz, honestly, is that it did not focus on, because I've taken so many career quizzes, like, what should I do? Like, how do I make money, right? And this was one of the first quizzes that I took that did not focus on what I was supposed to be doing, but it focused on who I was. It focused on who I thought, what I thought. Like, it focused on what my natural strengths were. And then it encouraged me to take those strengths, once I identified them, to take those strengths, and then I could apply them to whatever I wanted to do, right? If I knew that my strength was, gathering people together, then I could take that strength, and I could do it in any arena. I didn't have to just focus on, well, what job do I want to do that helps me gather people? No, I could take it and use it in my natural life, my friendships. I could use it at a job. I could use it just for myself, like knowing I could gather people, right? And so, um, the Bible says that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And so I really wanted to know, if I was made, what was I made of? Like, what's the stuff that God put inside of me? Like, I remember a while ago they were making on the internet, they were doing, like, these different like, they have, like, the bowls and stuff, and, like, they pour a little bit of water for this thing, and then, like, a whole lot of water for this thing, and it was really funny. And then but that's how I felt, right? Before the whole thing went off, that's how I felt. Like, okay, God, what were the different things that you poured inside me? And so this assessment really gives you an entire list. Basically, there's a list of things. I don't know how many there are, but there's a huge list of different strengths. And what they do is they basically say that, like, you contain all of the different strengths, but there's a top 5 that they give you. And from that top 5, they kind of categorize you on these 4 different things. So I'm going to go over my results, my most recent results, so that you can kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about. And so let's see. It's called Clifton Strengths. Okay, again, I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna link it in the description of that, so that you can get more information. It's a Gallup test, and basically, you have all of these different strengths, right? And when you take the test, it tells you your top 10, and then it highlights your top 5. So my top 5, personally, my number 1 is futuristic. Number 2 is a relator. Number 3 is self-assurance. Number 4 is connectedness. And number 5 is strategic. So based off of those top 5, they categorize me. They said that I lead with strategic thinking. And what that means is that strategic thinking themes help me to absorb and analyze information that informs better decisions. 100% me, because I love to learn, I love to analyze information, and I love to forethink about how the information that I have is going to affect me and other people around me, how I can make the best decision with the information that I have. And really analyzing the different pegs or spokes on a wheel and how they all come together. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, we're heading in the right direction. I still didn't know what the career was going to be, but I knew that they were talking about me, right? And so when we go to the first one, it gives you a whole breakdown, right, of these different ones. But for me, futuristic, it tells me how you can thrive. So it says, I'm inspired by the future, yes, and what could be. You energize others with your visions of the future. So what does that look like in real life? Well, one of the jobs that I had was working in a private school, and I would do the like the enrollment and the tours and give out the information to new parents. Well, how does that match? I energize others with visions of the future. So I was able to collect data or collect information from the parent about what it is that the child needs, what is it that the child's strengths, the child's weaknesses, or areas of opportunity. And then I was able to now create a vision of a future that the parent could get excited about, and how we were able to actually help the child within our school, right? What's another way that this is helpful? Well, currently, sometimes people will come to me and ask me things about like their business, right? So I'll maybe do like, just tell me about your business. I'm not like a consultant or anything, but I'll just listen, right? And so I'll say, okay, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? And so when they tell me what their goals are or how they're trying to accomplish something, easily I'm able to synthesize, analyze the information that they're telling me, what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go, and then I can clearly see what it is that they're trying, how we can get to the destination they're trying to get to. I come up with a strategy. I can come up with the steps. I can come up with an itemized plan for what we need to do to get there. And then I'm energizing them about the future, right? So I'm making them excited about what it is that we can do. That is my number one strength, according to this test. And so it gives you more information, and it says, chances are good that you treasure one-on-one conversations, yes, with visionary thinkers. Their ideas force you to expand on your plans for the future. And then it gives me some of the blind spots. So it says, because you live in the future, you may find it difficult to enjoy the present moment. While it will always be important for you to look at things forward, don't overlook opportunities to experience and appreciate where you are now. And that's definitely something that I had to learn, because I'm like, I know where my money is going in December. Like, I already have a budget for December, okay? I already know what I should be doing in October, right? That's just because it's one of my strengths. It's just how I live. I know what I'm doing in the next 5 years. I know where I'll be in the next 10 years. And of course, I always leave room, right, for things to change and God to have his hand in my life, because I don't want to do it without God. But this is so true that I have to focus. Is very intentional for me to be focused on, but Michelle, what are you doing today? And what are you doing in this moment, right? Because I was going to say this weekend, but even that's the future. Like right now, like what are we doing right now, right? Because it's one of my strengths. But again, knowing allows me to make better decisions about how I carry myself and how I stay focused in other areas. For my next one is relator. And this says, you enjoy close relationships with others. You find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. 100%. This is a part of relationship building. So I enjoy authentic relationships, and I don't need a lot of them, right? But although I enjoy relating to a lot of people, right? That's why I enjoy the hospitality industry. I enjoy meeting and relating to a lot of different people. I enjoy meeting people and hearing their stories and being helpful. I enjoy all of that. But at the core of who I am, I enjoy deep, authentic relationships. And so it says, Why it says one of the things that's unique about it is because I enjoy the companionship of individuals who tell you what they plan to accomplish in the coming weeks, months, or years. See, there's that futuristic again, right? And it says it's very unlikely that you feel upbeat and cheerful when you keep busy. Without question, you derive much satisfaction from producing tangible outcomes. So true. I have goals and I want to accomplish those goals. And when I don't accomplish those goals, then I make goals for the goals because I enjoy seeing things come to pass, right? This is why I succeed using a relator. It says you naturally form genuine and mutually rewarding one-on-one relationships. Your authenticity allows you to build close, long-lasting connections that foster trust and confidence, right? And then, of course, it tells the blind spots, and it says, I typically do not trust others implicitly, and people have to earn my trust over time. Some may think you are hard to get to know. I've heard that before. Beware of this perception with new people you meet as well as the people you see every day. And so when it comes to meeting people for the first time, that outer layer, right? I love people, I can interact with people, but when it comes to those closer, when you get in those closer, those concentric circles, the closer you get in, then I've heard it's hard to get to know me, but that's because when I'm in these deep relationships that I'm an open book, right? And so but my relating to people is one of my strengths. And so there's so many other of them. Self-assurance, talking about how I feel confident in my abilities. And so I'm able to take these top 5 strengths and even the rest of them, because they categorize the rest of them for you, to really say, okay, if I know that I can help people see the future and be energized by it, if I know that I'm good at building these relationships with people, then how can I use those strengths in my everyday life? How can I use them to develop hobbies? How can I use them to develop extra income on the side? How can I use them to be a better mother or be a better friend or be a better sister or be a better, in any kind of relationship? How can I use these strengths to help push forward not only my own life, but the life of people around me? And so I encourage you to take this test. I encourage you to take it more than once. I took the first time I took the test was when I was probably in my early 20s, and then I took it again in my early 30s, and it's changed. So I'm coming up on my 40th birthday, so I'll probably be taking it again just to see how things have changed, what things have stayed the same, and maybe I've developed new strengths, right? Maybe there's some things that were once there that maybe now I have another muscle that I didn't even know that I was building that I could use to really help people and really forward the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So I really encourage you to get the book, read the book. When you order the book, if you get the book from Amazon, which I'm gonna put the link, when you order the book new, in the back of the book, there's like a code, and the code you can use to go and take the quiz. If you just go to the website and just take the quiz, it's a lot more expensive to just take the test. Either way, take the test, but read the information. Don't just get the quiz, just throw it away. This information is like, out of the hundreds of quizzes and tests that I took over the course of the years that I was really doing this search, this test helped me the most. Finding my strengths helped me the most, because it does not just pigeonhole you into one thing that you're supposed to be doing, but it allows you to see how you're naturally created, what you're naturally good at, and then you can apply those things to whatever you want. So I want to hear from you. Have you taken this test before? If you have, what are some of your top strengths? What are some of the things that surprised you about these strengths, or maybe some of the things that surprised you about your blind spots? Subscribe, do all the things. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that this test helps you as much as it helped me. All right, later.